Hey guys, Will here, and welcome to the next part of my Across the Program series where I take you across multiple programs and show you cool things you can do with them. And I've already covered Maya, but to accommodate for the fact that Maya is a paid licensed 3D modeling program, meaning that you have to pay a subscription to get it, I am showing you a free and downloadable alternative known as Blender. Blender is another 3D modeling program that has very good tools to make really nice looking things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a castle or building of some kind that can take a concrete texture to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at our cube right here, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that by pressing the delete button. And I'm going to go up here into the top left where it says view, select, add object. I'm going to press add, and then mesh, and then cylinder. Now we have our cylinder sitting in the middle of our modeling area. I'm going to go ahead and set the z-axis to 1, so that way it is sitting on the grid and nothing is below it. As you can see, it is sitting directly on that line. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and scale it by taking this blue panel right here, and I'm going to drag it out like this, like that, so that way it's scaling on the X and Y axis. Sorry. Let me scale up a little bit more like that. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to press tab, which allows me to move instantly from object mode to edit mode, which allows me to view faces and the lines and the dots and the points like we do in Maya. I'm going to go ahead and take this face right here. I'm going to go ahead and press E for extrude, and I'm going to press scale. S for scale, and I'm going to scale this down about right there, and then I'm going to press E again and move it up to give it like a nice little, like that's our base area for our castle. Then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to press scale again, sorry, I'm going to press E then S, and then we're going to scale it out like this. And maybe we'll bring it up just a little bit so that way these faces aren't intersecting in a very weird way. And then we'll extrude again, like that, and there we go. We have the base of our castle. What I'm going to do again, lots of E's and S's for extrusions and scalings. So I'm going to go ahead and extrude again, and then scale again, and I'm going to go ahead and move in about right there. That looks pretty good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select every other piece of these new faces we made. So I'm going to go ahead and go around the circle like such and select every new face like this, every other face like such. And then we're going to go ahead and press E again like so to create that top. Looks very, very nice. I'm already liking how this looks. And one thing we can do to make this look even better is if we were to scale it in right now, all of them scale in together, and it does this really weird like scale inwards, which is not what we want to do because that looks very weird for an architecture design. So a really cool and easy tool that we can use is if you come up here to this little chain link up here, the pivot center, we can actually change this to individual origins, which means all these are going to be scaled in their own origins. So the middle of this one, the middle of this one, we can scale this, and now they're all being scaled to their own origins. And I really like how this looks because it gives it like this little like slanted pieces to the top, and when we look at it now, it looks pretty cool, at least in my opinion. This is all subjective. You can do whatever you'd like. I'm just making this for our tutorial. Like maybe one thing I'll do really quick right here is if I can take the lines mode, and if I alt click on one of these lines, I'll select all these lines. I will move these up just to give the bottom area like a slant, kind of like how this part is as well. And this is our castle. And like we do with Maya, we can come up here to File, and then we can go all the way down to Export, and we can export it as an FBX, just as we did with Maya. So as you see, that's our lightsaber that we made in Maya, and all we have to do is we can name this as our castle for our tutorial, castle tutorial. And we can go over here to the right where it says export FBX, and there we go. We now have an FBX file for Blender.